Hello. Hi, JP.
Hi, TY. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing well. I hadn't too long came back from a walk, and so that was nice. It's kind of cool. I had on a coat in May,
That's very good. It's also raining over here too.
oh, really? Oh, okay, okay, okay. How was your day today?
Oh, my day was good. Thank you very much. So, what do you have for me today?
Okay, well, first I just want to say welcome everyone to Across the Waters. So we're going across the waters again. And listen, some of these conversations might surprise you, especially I don't know if today would be one, but America and Nigeria. What I want to say is we may be worlds apart. Well, we are worlds apart. But when you really break things down, we struggle, love, laugh, and survive in ways that are more connected than people think. So let's get into our topic today. So it is going to be uh, on what Americans think about Nigerians versus the truth. So, what are some common stereotypes that Americans hear about Nigerians? So, I will say one of them is that they are very uh let me see kind of very arrogant, that Nigerians are very arrogant, especially against other quote African Americans, that they're like standoffish and that they're very arrogant. That's kind of like a stereotype. Not everyone, I'm saying, feels that way, but that is one. What about on Nigerian side? What are some stereotypes about Americans that you hear about?
Okay. Anyway, Nigerian are very productive people and they are positive people. I can't generalize and say Nigerian have a stereotype. You know, um, Nigerian doesn't. I can't generalize because it's just me and I don't have a stereotype. So I don't know if any other person has a stereotype. So that's what I can say because when you say stereotype, you mean assumption. So I don't assume, So that's my answer to that question.
Okay, okay. Um, what do you think about um when it comes to the survival mentality in Nigeria versus comfort in America?
All right, thank you very much. First of all, I've not been to America before. I was born and raised all my life in Nigeria. So I can't really say in the aspect of America, but I can speak um, from a point of me living here in Nigeria. So here in Nigeria, the survivor mentality is instinct on the people due to the government. The society in Nigeria is a society that wants you to do so much while you get little. That's why people go for a job and work for a woman and get paid 30,000 naira, which is less than $30 in a month, which is very, very bad. You know, um, some people find it very difficult to survive with that amount, and this lure them into different type of, you know, um, business, different type of, I don't want to use the word hustling, but I let me just permit me to use that word hustling. Nigerians are hustlers. Like they do different type of job just to survive, just to live. Because the government doesn't provide a well structured environment for the people. It doesn't make the society to be conducive for the people to strive. Like when we talk about electricity, it is just I rate it 10%, very poor. When we talk about road infrastructure, hospitality, and medical sectors, it's all poor. Why? Because the government has really performed very poor, in the past years, you know, and Nigerians, finding a way to survive. They just finding a way to survive all this because the system is being destabilized. The system is not stable. The system is not well structured. I don't want to I don't want to bring the Bible into this. And the Bible says, where when the foundation is faulty, what can a righteous do? So Nigerians are just a righteous who is just finding a way to survive. So sorry for the time. I don't mean to take too much of the time, but I just want to make our the viewers out there to understand, the situation of Nigeria when it comes to, survive, that word survive, so that's my intake on that.
Yes, I know. My being that I am from the States and have been all my life, I would say that one of the big difference is somehow, some way, Nigerians, they are creative because they have to, and they find ways to create income for themselves. Over here in the States, it's not that people don't do that over here as well, but you have a backup, and the backup is like the government. So the government, it helps the poor or those who are maybe they are going through a rough time, and they can apply if they qualify for assistance. And I know that that's not the case over in Nigeria. They don't have such things as unemployment. If you lose your job, you can apply and get a unemployment check until you can find another job. Or if you below a certain poverty level, you can get food stamps, which is basically it's a government card, and they give you so much money. Some people get three, four, $500 uh, of money that they get to be able to buy food. Um, so, so it's definitely different. It's different because for one is that over here there's a government that helps, and over there the government is like, from what I've been told, it's like you got to figure it out on your own. So those are like some differences. And please, those who are watching or who will be watching this video, if you have a comment of what we have just said, please put it in the comment section and we can have more of a conversation about this. So, what do you think about um, JP when it talks about scams ruining Nigerians' reputation online? Is that true?
Yeah, there are some truth to that, but not absolutely true. Why? Because There are scammer everywhere. Nigeria is not one number one. It's not even number two. It's not even number four in the world. We have Pakistan, we have Indian, we have different countries that does scam. But it's just like, Nigerians, they don't know how to keep their mouth shut, and they are very lousy, and once they get money due to the poverty mindset, that instinct on 60% of Nigeria are poor. So those people, they tend to like, oh, once they get money, they tend to show off that they have make money. And you know when you go after them, when the policeman or you investigate them, they don't really have a tangible job they are doing. And if you look at the Nigerian working system, Nigerian labor system, people, workers are now paid enough money for that kind of lifestyle. Then people feel like, okay, where do you see your money? So when you investigate them, you see that this kind of people, they are into money laundering, they are into scam and all that. It's not like all Nigerians. There are, I mean, let me say 90% of Nigeria, or let me say 80% of Nigeria are still working hard and, looking for job and working and still doing the right thing. 80% of Nigeria are not into fraud. We can only amount this fraudster just like 20%. So you can't say if 20% are into fraud, you don't say 80%, all of us are fraud. You can call everyone a fraudster if that's just 20%, who are doing that. So I don't, I mean, I think it is um just a media thing. They use a media to push this propaganda that, oh, Nigerians are into fraud, all Nigerians are fraudsters. All Nigerians are not fraudsters, you know and all Nigerians doesn't have the intention of like, oh, I have to scam someone. There are good Nigerians, there are bad Nigerians, just like there are bad people everywhere in the world. There are good and bad people everywhere in the world. There is no country you will get to that you won't find bad people and you will not find good people. But Nigerian own thing is that Nigerians are, it's just like the bad Nigerians, people who are bad, they have the upper hand to go to travel abroad because they have the money, they have succeeded in their scam. So they destroy the face of Nigeria because these people is like people who are good, don't even have money to travel out of the country. It's the bad people who travel out of the country and spoil the rest of the people. So we can't, and I'm not saying everyone who travel out of the country are bad people. you know I'm saying this because of the listeners, so that they don't quote me wrong. I'm not saying every Nigerians who travel outside the country are bad people, but I'm saying that, okay, just take a look at it from the politicians who are stealing our money. They're actually a fraudster, because that's fraud money that is meant for the benefit of the people. You divert them and you travel abroad and you waste those money and you buy property abroad. That's theft, that's fraud. You get, that's money laundering. And these are people who travel abroad. You get this thief, the politicians, the leaders, some businessmen who are into fraud. They are the one who travel out of the country, and when they go out there and commit fraud, there is a quote that say, "Oh, all Nigerians are fraud." That doesn't mean all Nigerians are fraud. This is just 1%. This is just 10%. This is just 20% of Nigerians who are into fraudulent activities. And the reason why is because Nigerians are lousy. Nigerians, because most of them are from survival mode. They are from poverty. They, when they come across to money, they wants to live a luxury lifestyle, compared to these Indian guys, compared to these Pakistan guys who make money and they stay low key. But Nigerians, they just want to buy Gucci and all that. That's how you get to know. And you know that the working system in Nigeria doesn't pay that much. And you question them because it's easy to identify someone who's into fraud in Nigeria. So that's my so I'm not I can't say, just like you asked the question, if Nigerians are into scam, or 80% of Nigerians are not doing scam. They are hardworking and they are good people. I can say there are scammers everywhere, and Nigeria is not excluded from that. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Um, would you say that okay, so I'll just skip down to this. What was your first impression of an American person? What was your first impression? Hello? Oh, okay.
Okay, okay. When you said what's my first impression, when I first see an American person, my impression is I don't I see an American person as an American person. I see everybody as one. Everybody who got created as one. You know, I see everyone who got created as special. You know, America is a wonderful land, is a land that God has blessed. American has a good, and it has the largest, most of the largest economy in the world. And America is a country, is a land of opportunity. So when I see an American person, I see someone like, in my mind, I see someone who is blessed to be in that country, because I see that if anybody is in that country and don't know what they are doing and don't use the opportunity that God, that the fact that God created them and put them in that country, if they don't use it very well, I see them as a coward, because a lot of people, we want to die just to get to America, because they've lived hell in somewhere else. One thing is that everyone who lives in America, my impressions when I see them is that, in my mind, is uh, this person is just blessed to be in that country, and that's all. I'm an educated person. I went to the university, so I am a learner person. So I know more about history. I've learned, about the country. I know about the continents we have in the world. I know about the continents we have in the world. I know about the countries that are in the world. I can name so many countries: Australia, Japan, China, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, America, United States of America, Mexico, Canada, Australia, and so many countries in the world. I'm not an illiterate, so um, I don't know about maybe an illiterate if they see an American person, and maybe their impression might be something different. But my impression is that, you know, oh wow, this is someone who is living in a land that is blessed, a land that is full of opportunities. So that's my uh that's my own, impression.
Okay. So do Nigerians think Americans are soft?
Mhm. Um, in my own point, I can generalize and talk on behalf of everyone. Soft is individualist. It is individual. It is individual thing. I've not been in America before, so I can't say, oh, maybe American people are soft or not. So I've not been in America before, because everyone has, different attitude, There are soft Nigerians. There are there are people who are harsh, and there are people who are aggressive. It is um it is character. It is human character. We all have different character. We have different attitude, different behaviors. So I can't categorize it that, oh, all Americans, oh, Americans are soft or American are hard, because I've not lived with America before and I've not been there before. And speaking with you're a soft person. You're a soft person. And so I can't generalize it that Nigerian think American are soft or they are harsh. So I can't really say, it's just a human thing. We are all human, we are all human. America, your Nigeria, Sierra Leone, any country, any country you are in the world, we are all gonna die and go to heaven. We all came from the same God. So I think it's just attitude. It is, human behavior. We have different behavior, regardless of where you are from in the world. But American are wonderful. I mean, the Americans that I have spoken with are wonderful people. You're a wonderful person too, TY. So that's my answer to that.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about briefly um two more things. So do Americans misunderstand African culture? And I would say yes, to some degree, especially when it comes to marriage and the bride price. And we talked about that on Across the Waters. You can go back and look at the video, and it talks about the bride price. And so we did a segment on that. But I think that that is one thing that is misunderstood, that people who are from the States may look at that like you're buying a wife, and so they look at it differently. So I do think that Americans do misunderstand African culture sometimes, um, or maybe most of the time until they understand it. But this last one, if we can talk about this one. So, what's something beautiful about your culture people overlook? I'll start first. So in America culture, one of the things that's so beautiful is that it's known for the melting pot. So people all over the world, they come here and they bring their culture with them. But um though they can, and really what that means, because some people think that America doesn't have a culture, but it does. It does. But in one of the things is that it's accepting. You can be come from China and you have a culture of where you, and you can practice that. But ultimately, um you do have to, I mean, we're even, I'm sorry, let me just go back. We're even accepting of your language, but we are when you come here, we do have one national language. You can talk your language, but the national language of what stuff is going to be in, how you communicate, is going to be English. So there is one united language. I'm just using that as an example. But yet accepting of other people where they can come and they can have the freedom to worship, to have the freedom to be able to exercise their culture. So I think that's a beautiful thing about America, that people may overlook, because a lot of these people, if they were in their own country, they couldn't have the freedom that they have over here. For an example, like the freedom of speech. In every culture, it's not like that. You can have some bad things happen to you if you speak out. But over here, you have that freedom as long as you're peaceful and you're not threatening someone's life. You can peacefully speak and yeah. So what about over there? What is something beautiful about your culture that people overlook?
Our people, there are so many things. If I want to start mentioning, so many, but let me just say few. The food. Yeah, food. Nigeria has one of the best food in the world. We have very good food, and ceremony like marriage, wedding ceremony, our clothing attires, and work ethics. Nigerians are respectful people too. They have good respect, morals, and think that these are things that are kind of overlooked when it comes to Nigerian culture. That's just a few ones I mentioned there, like I said earlier before I mentioned them.
Wow, JP, that's beautiful. All those different areas that you mentioned, and just from what I know, you're right on it. I mean, I don't know what the food is like, but the dress attire is really nice from what I see of it. The weddings, oh my goodness, that I see online, they look like so much fun and they're so beautiful and elegant. And so, okay. So now we are going to go into a fun segment. And basically, I have three things that I'm going to mention. And I'm going to ask you, JP, is it true or false? So let's get to it. All Nigerians are loud. True or false?
Plus,
Okay. Well, who better to know that than you? So, okay. Now, this one is for like on my end. Americans don't, okay, Americans don't know their neighbors. That would be true in certain circumstances. That is true. We can live so close to one another and yet not really know our neighbors because a lot of people they just kind of stick to themselves, whatnot. But typically, I mean, it's not usually that isolating, but there is some truth to that. So the last one, Nigerian parents are stricter. Is that true or false, JP?
true.
True. Okay. Well, I think that one is a little biased. Um, I know I had a strict mom. She was strict and I was, yeah. So I think that one can be, it can be a little biased. But, um, but I have seen like some videos of some Nigerian women and just from hearing from some other people and boy, the Nigerian mama, she didn't play. Oh my goodness. So, I could see how, yes, that could be a toss up. Well, so that is all to tonight's segment of what Americans think about Nigeria versus the truth. Do you have anything that you would like to say and before we yeah. Do you have anything, JP, that you would like to add or say about this topic or anything?
Thank you.
Cannot hear you.
So thank you very much across the water family. Thank you for watching our channel. And please, if you are watching us for the first time, this is here we talk about America and Nigeria. You know, you can learn more here, and this is the best channel that you can ever find here. And please do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also give us a thumbs up button. You know that. Just do that, and also click the notification bell. And TY is amazing, and I'm also here. You know, so anytime, and you can also leave your comment. On the comment section below. Leave us your comment, whatever question you want to ask. Feel free and drop them. One love. We love you all. We love you all. Peace out.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us across the waters. And until next time, take care, everybody. Bye.